Welcome to the Pittsburgh Dish. I'm your host, Doug Heilman. If you are the not-so-often baker like me and your pie plate is as dusty as the flour in the cupboard, then this week's show is for you. We get a lesson in pie baking and more from Chef Alekka Sweeney.
Looks like the game Simon.
I know, and we can do. When you start getting really rowdy,
Yeah.
I can censor you.
You probably could keep your hand on that button.
I usually keep it right there. No one has done it. In post, I'll take it out. We want to keep that explicit rating off of the podcast.
Okay, fine. You get more listeners that way.
I know. Well, that's it. Well, thank you so much for coming over and for being on the show. Would you take a moment to reintroduce yourself to our listeners?
I'm Chef Alekka Sweeney. I'm a private chef here in Pittsburgh. So I think it should be like Saturday Night Live when like the Five Timers Club, you get a jacket.
Oh.
So this is my third time. Well, you gave me some soup. So.
I did. We did have a little snack, I'll say, before we started. Okay. Well, if we get more followers like you, and in fact, you have been such a great ongoing friend and supporter of the show, then we could probably afford some merch. So maybe you'll get a jacket someday. Maybe I can work with a t-shirt first.
Okay, I'll go. Okay. T-shirt's fine. A magnet.
Oh, there you go. A sticker. I can give you a sticker today. Well, Alekka, I've asked you to come back on the show because I know you are such I'll just say a champion and expert in the world of baking, which I am not. I am the occasional baker. Mm-hmm. And we're getting into the fall holiday season. I think everyone has maybe a pumpkin pie on the brain. Mm-hmm. And so I thought it would be great to take this episode and talk about baking, some tips, tricks, ingredients, things that you know about. But before we dive in, I'd love to dive into some of your history. You have quite a resume in baking.
Yes.
Tell me a little bit more about your baking history.
Well, I always tell people that I didn't choose baking. It chose me in kind of a roundabout way. I was working in a restaurant in Philadelphia where the pastry chef at the time kind of disappeared for a month with kind of his own issues. So
you became a pastry chef.
I did because I was
you were it.
I was young.
Yeah.
Nobody else wanted to do it. And they kind of turned to me one day and said, we need a wedding cake this weekend.
Oh my gosh.
Figure it out.
Wow.
Yeah.
And not just a dessert for this service, but somebody's big day.
Yeah.
Wow.
So I relied a lot on Martha Stewart.
Yeah.
And Joy of Cooking. Mm-hmm. And there was a woman there that did help me, but that's how I got into it.
Wow.
The way that my mind works, I have more of a statistical mind where formulas really resonate with me. Mm-hmm. So I think that's why I really like baking.
Because there is more formula and more science.
Exactly.
A little more planning.
Mm-hmm. And then you get to be creative.
I am so none of those in so many ways. I like to say I'm the occasional baker. My mom is the pie master, but I just occasionally bake, maybe a half a dozen times a year. So I've picked up some things. So I know you have so much more knowledge than me.
Well, this was also a classic French restaurant too.
Oh my goodness.
So that's, from right out of a culinary school, I just landed myself into learning how to make classic French pastries.
And when you were in culinary school, was pastry part of
it is part of, it's usually the last session you go through. Mm-hmm. And I remember the chef instructor said to me, I remember we all walked in, it's a cold kitchen. This is Pennsylvania Culinary Institute. Mm-hmm. And first thing I did is I turned on all of the convection ovens without even thinking about it. And the chef walks in and he's like, who turned on the ovens? And everybody's like, oh my God.
This was in culinary school.
This is culinary school. So I just kind of like raised my hand like, yes, chef, that was me. And he pointed at me. He's like, you're going to be a good pastry chef.
Oh, well, that's just great. And this was part of your curriculum, but it wasn't necessarily a core focus. And then all of a sudden you get this wedding cake in the French restaurant.
Yeah. Yeah.
And from there, let's jump ahead a little bit.
So then I moved to Atlanta.
Yeah.
And like I said, it's public that I lied on my resume to be the assistant pastry chef for a company there that had 3 restaurants and a catering company.
Okay.
This was not French, but the pastry chef was really way above his time with plated desserts.
Wow. Okay.
So he told me that he had a choice. He pretty much figured out my first day that I did not know what I was doing. He figured it out. So he made me into a project. I was there for 5 years.
Oh, wow.
Started learning how to do like chocolate work and how to like really refine, what I've learned, and using like silicone molds and how to put a plated dessert together.
Did that really expand your craft those 5 years?
It did. And it also, at 25, 26, I think I had to manage a staff.
Wow. Yeah.
Learning how to do that.
Can I jump us a little bit
Please
further?
do.
So you end up in Chicago. And tell me about your business there.
So at that time, the Food Network had just started, and like the Ace of Cakes and Cupcake Wars got to be really popular. And that time I think I was tired of working for other people.
Yeah.
Like an entrepreneur gets to a point where they're like, I want to do this myself. So I did a lot of market research around Chicago, and I couldn't find a place that was just dedicated to baking and pastry classes. It would be like sushi and pasta and maybe an occasional class.
But you found a gap in the market.
I found a gap in the market.
In a really big city. Awesome.
And my real estate agent found a Montessori school that already had everything that I needed.
Wow.
So I signed the lease and I started my company there. And I started out with a basic cake decorating class.
Oh.
And in the decade that I had it, that was hands down my most popular class that I taught.
Remind me the name of your business.
Give me some sugar. That's for my Atlanta days.
Yeah.
They're like, come here, baby, give me some sugar.
Oh. Now life happens and we move forward again. And now you're here in Pittsburgh. And what are you doing right now in the world of baking?
So I am teaching as many baking classes as I can and offering them at my shared kitchen space.
This is the Hilltop Shared
Shared Kitchen in Mount Oliver.
And did I also just see you were teaching a class recently at Botany Hall, who we just had on?
Oh, yeah, Tess.
And you had like 10.
I made 10 patches of pie dough.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. I don't think I've made one batch of pie dough.
I want to thank Erin G. McDowell for that. So I make her all butter pie crust. And there's a way, I'll tell you my tips for that. But I did that. I timed myself. I did that in about an hour and 15 minutes.
Those 10 batches of
From scratch.
all butter crust pie dough.
Yes.
Oh my gosh. So Alekka, I think what we're saying, and I think I might have made the right choice. I want to talk about baking for the rest of this episode. And
okay,
you have the skills to do it.
I think I do.
You certainly
a couple.
do. A side question, do you ever do baking classes for kids?
Yes.
Okay.
I like to do them in the summertime in my kids' summer baking camps. And then I'm going to have one after the 25th of December. There's like that time that kids are not back at school.
Yeah.
And parents are like, what am I going to do with my kids? And like the holiday high is down, is gone.
Yes.
So I do a kids' winter baking camp.
I love this. So you've got stuff in the works right now.
Yes.
Okay. Well, we'll get to that. Let's make sure we talk about anything you have upcoming, any events. But I do want to cover pies.
I could talk pies for all day.
Okay.
All day.
We could go into cakes and other pastries, but I'd also like to talk about ingredients and even equipment. If you have any tips around any of that, where would you like to start?
So my dad always laughs because I always have from probably this time of the year until January 1st.
And we're talking about mid-October.
Yes. I have a glass measuring cup, Pyrex, of water in my parents' refrigerator at all times. There's about a cup of water in there.
Chilled water.
Chilled water in preparation of making pie dough.
Okay. So you're ready.
My first tip of making pie dough is everything cold.
All right.
Butter, the water. I have a bag of all-purpose flour in my freezer.
You do. I know that we want chilled butter because it becomes more flaky when we work it in, but why all the other things? Like, why is it important to keep the flour cold and the cold water?
Think about your body in the wintertime. You're
You're tensed
You're
up.
tensed up.
Okay.
And then your body in the summertime, you're kind of like fluid and on relaxed. So the whole goal is to really slow down the development of the gluten in the flour.
Okay. So keeping it chilled.
So keeping it chilled.
Keeps it tense. Keeps those proteins tense.
They tense up. And it's also easier to, mix in cold butter because I have hot hands, what they say in the pastry world. They're pretty warm.
Mm-hmm.
So when I'm working with ice cold butter, it's easier for me to incorporate that into my flour and salt.
Okay.
And I keep my butter. I was taught a long time ago that the butter should look like sand.
Okay. Not the peas, a little smaller.
A little bit smaller.
Okay. When you work it in, when you work it into the flour.
Correct. So I went to Chicago and somebody taught me a completely, totally different way that blew my mind. Because pie dough does not have any leavening in it. There's no baking powder. There's no baking soda. There's no yeast.
You're relying on that little percentage of water in the butter.
And the water that you put in there.
Yeah, and it evaporates
and creates steam and gives you those layers.
That flakiness.
So my trick is when you put there's two ways you could do it. Some people take like the bigger end of the box grater and they'll grate cold butter into the flour. I do that when I make scones.
Yes. Okay.
But when I do pie dough, I will cut my 1 stick of unsalted butter into about 4 big chunks.
Yes.
And then I'll put it in my flour and just make sure that those chunks are coated in the flour first.
Okay.
Then I'll use my hands, or you can use one of those pastry cutters. I have my grandmother's. I'm a big tactile person.
You want to do this with your hands.
Yes.
You like this. Yeah.
So I kind of tried to make the butter look like Pringles.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Yeah, like little sheets.
Like sheets. Before I add the water at all.
Okay.
So some will be in I call them Pringles. Some will be in the shape of the size of like a Jolly Rancher, all different shapes and sizes. Because you have to remember when you add the liquid in, you're mixing it some more.
Yeah. And so you're not using a food processor typically for your crust? Well, you can, you can tell me yay, nay. I don't.
You can, yes, you can, but you really want to be mindful of how much you're processing everything, especially when you're adding the water.
And more accessibly, let's just say your approach is don't use a processor. You would rather do it with your hands and a pastry cutter.
Yes. Well, I was taught one day when I went to advanced pastry school, the instructor took everything away that was plugged into the wall. And it was 1 week of doing everything by hand. Because if your KitchenAid breaks or your Cuisinart breaks, you have to have a plan B.
Well, here's what I love about that anyway. A lot of folks don't have those appliances.
Right.
And it's actually more satisfying.
I find it it's almost like yoga for me when I make pie dough. So the amount of water that you put in the recipe I follow says 3 to 4 tablespoons.
Okay.
And when I teach my baking classes, the first thing I say to my students is trust the process, because I'm a grams girly. I measure everything out on a digital scale.
Yes.
I don't expect everybody to do that. So the amount of water really depends on what's going on outside. So if it's humid out, you'll probably need 3 tablespoons of water. If it's like it is right now,
very dry outside,
you'll probably need more.
Yeah, closer to 4.
Closer to 4. So I tell my students, you can always add, you can't take away.
Right.
So especially after you add in the amount of water till it looks like a shaggy dough, like a shag rug, then we will dump all of that out onto the table. And people kind of panic because there's still some dry portions of the flour. And I say, well, this is the step that we're going to hydrate the flour more with the water and the butter.
So is this where we're kind of bringing it together, forming it in a disc?
Into a disc.
And then you have I did this once with you. This is why I remember. We wrapped it in
a lot of
plastic wrap.
Right. And a lot of people, I will tend to put it what I call like a bowling ball.
You don't want that.
You don't want, because you want to think about your next step, which is rolling out.
Right.
So I encourage people to put it in a disc, like a hockey puck.
Yes.
And that also, you could make you saw all those batches of pie dough that I made in that big tower.
Well, this is the picture I saw at Phipps Conservatory. You had like 10 of these
10
discs
batches
of dough. And so how long does that have to rest to hydrate?
So at least a half an hour.
Okay. Like that's the minimum.
That's the minimum because you want that butter to re-solidify. You want the flour to hydrate.
And you're putting it back in the fridge.
And putting back in the refrigerator.
For the butter to harden back up.
So a lot of people ask me, how long does the pie dough last? And I have a really good story. I made a batch of pie dough at Phipps last week and I brought it home and I used it 3 days later to make a tart. And my dad, who's had 57 million of my pie, said to me, he's like, Alekka, your crust tasted, the texture was different. The pie dough that I had in the refrigerator for 3 days.
Yes.
And I said, well, that makes sense because refrigerator sucks out the moisture of things. And I said, it's not as flaky as you're used to it being. It's because it's been in the refrigerator for 3 days. So it still tasted good.
Yeah.
But he's used to like me making pie dough and using it and baking it
fresh.
the same day.
But you could probably go a day.
You could go a day. Oh, yeah, absolutely. But I would say it's kind of pushing it for after like 4 or 5 days because you'll get like this gray kind of.
We don't want that.
Yeah.
Can you freeze it?
You can freeze it. So unsalted butter lasts for 3 months.
Okay.
Salted, because salt is a preservative. That's about 6 months.
And you're talking about putting it wrapped tightly in like some plastic wrap.
And a freezer safe bag.
And then in the freezer.
So if you make multiple batches like in those discs,
Yes.
then you can store a whole bunch in your freezer, pull it out the night before you want to use it and put it in your refrigerator.
Yes. Let it come back to temperature in the fridge part.
Yes.
And so somebody out there listening could, if they're going to make a pie in October, November, and December, they could make 3 batches right now.
Yeah, I'm like, make your pie doughs now.
Oh, yeah.
And put them in your freezer and take it out. And I use this pie dough for sweet and savory.
Okay. That's why you don't put any sugar in your crust. You don't can I say it? You don't do the pâte sucrée?
Yeah, you got it. That's it.
Is that it?
Yeah,
Okay.
and there's pâte brisée too.
What's that?
That's kind of like the same as pie dough.
All right. But you do put a little salt in yours.
I do. Correct.
Because you use unsalted butter.
And I put fresh herbs in this one. So you can
for
kind
a
of
savory one.
Yeah, you can jazz it up, as my dad would say.
Sounds fun.
So I would put any other add-ins into the flour before you put the butter in.
Okay.
If you want to put dried herbs or nutmeg or anything like that, put that into the flour and the salt and whisk that together.
Before you incorporate your
then
butter.
add your butter and your
then
water.
Got it. Can we get that easy sort of recipe you say you like to go through? Can we get that for our
Yes,
listeners?
I'm going to credit Erin Jean McDowell.
Well, we can even link to her.
Yeah, please do, because
We'll do
she wrote the book on pie, which is my pie Bible. I have this recipe memorized. It's 1.25 cups of all-purpose flour, a 1/4 teaspoon of salt, 1 stick of unsalted butter, 3 to 4 tablespoons of cold water.
That refrigerator cold water.
Yeah, come to my house. You'll see the water in the refrigerator. So if you don't have that in the morning, if you wake up and you're like, I want to make pie dough, then put some ice in water and put it in the refrigerator.
Yeah.
Yes,
Yeah.
that will help get your water really cold.
Right.
But trust the process with the water part.
All right. So you have me thinking too about these ingredients, and you mentioned unsalted butter and the flour. Can we talk about ingredients for a moment?
Well, I'm telling everybody to buy your non-perishables now.
Oh,
Yes. But I like King Arthur flour.
yeah, I like that too.
I like Kerrygold butter.
Butter. Mm-hmm. My mom's a King Arthur, and then she also finds this other flour brand, Robin Hood. She feels like they've had maybe just a slightly
Can
different.
you get that here in Pittsburgh? I haven't seen it.
I think she actually asks her local grocery store for it
Okay.
because she did have it for years, and then post-pandemic, it kind of took a long time to come back. But King Arthur, everyone seems to love King Arthur.
Yeah, but if you don't want to spend that money,
Yes.
I've made this pie dough with gigante agave flour and unsalted butter.
And it doesn't affect.
It really doesn't. If you don't remember the last time you bought your baking powder and your baking soda, get rid of it and
Chuck it and
buy
replace.
fresh.
Yeah, because it's such a special thing, right?
Like, my dad is infamous of running out the day of Thanksgiving and getting stuff. So you can get your corn syrups now, your brown sugars now, your pumpkin purees, your nuts, anything that's non-perishable, stock up on flour and sugars.
Let me ask you, I like to keep like nuts and like coconut in the fridge.
I do too.
Does that what you
I do it in the freezer.
You put it in the freezer. It kind of prolongs the life.
Yeah.
And so I'm thinking about like the baking soda I like, which comes in an orange box. I might remember when I bought it last, but if it's been open and in the cupboard, it might have absorbed.
It's always good to start fresh.
Yeah.
It really
You're
is,
right.
just to have that extra insurance.
And they're only like a couple dollars.
Yeah, they're not that expensive. This is Chef Alekka, and you're listening to The Pittsburgh Dish.
When you bake pies, you mentioned you do some savory things, but what are some of your favorite go-to sweet pies? I'm sure everyone thinks about pumpkin. Do you have anything else in your brain?
I like my bourbon chocolate pecan pie.
Whoa, that sounds amazing. So this is like a pecan pie, but a little boozed up and with chocolate in it? Wow.
I turn my pies into tarts.
Okay.
So I use the same pie dough, but I'll put it in a tart pan. So I've been making a lot of these plum frangipane tarts lately.
And frangipane, is that like an almond cream?
That's almond flour,
Uh-huh.
almond extract, flour, eggs.
Plums may not be available that much longer, but
I
they've been
know.
beautiful, right?
Yes.
Like red, I've seen green. Those could be really gorgeous. And you could probably do something with pear.
I was going to say, you
Apple?
could poach a pear
Yeah.
and do that. Again, I'm going to refer to the book on pie, her apple pie filling, because I'm really particular about my apple pie filling. I know we could,
You don't buy a can, Alekka?
God, no. No, I don't.
No. Okay.
I know there's people who like their apple pies certain ways.
Right.
I like mine a certain way. I like
so
it
many
to be a
different ways.
little bit of a mouthfeel to it. And I
Yeah.
like a sauce, like the apples to create a sauce.
Got you.
And I always finish whatever sweet or savory pie that I'm doing before I bake it. I will brush the top with a mixture of egg and water
Little egg wash. Makes
and
it shiny.
Malden sea salt.
All right. The Malden salt. Those are the bigger
Yeah.
crystals. So you get a little crunch.
Yes, the sweet and savory.
Yeah. I love that. All right. So we've been talking about pie for a while and we mentioned some things on ingredients. Do you have any other tips for other desserts that folks might be making this time of year? A cake, a crumble, anything up your sleeve where you're like, oh, I always do this.
My other piece of advice, especially for the holidays, is don't attempt something you've never done before,
What?
that you haven't practiced
Yeah.
yet.
That you're going to take to somebody else's house
Yes,
or serve
or
other
serve.
people. Make
Yeah.
it in the safe space in the immediate family. Try
Right.
it once.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I like to do bread puddings
Oh, day old bread kind of situation. Okay.
and make that a sweet bread pudding.
Oh, what do you throw in there?
It really depends on the season. I would just do a little like cinnamon, sugar, brown sugar.
Doesn't
keep
need
it
to have
simple.
any fruit or anything. It
You
could just-
can,
yeah.
or maybe some dried fruit.
Oh,
Because
yeah.
you have to let it sit and the bread hydrate with those liquids. So I would put the dried fruit because you don't want burned dried fruit on the top
No.
of your bread pudding.
Right. No, but maybe nestle some dried cranberries in there.
Yes.
Let them hydrate and plump up.
Or when I lived in Atlanta, I made a Krispy Kreme bread pudding.
Oh my goodness.
It was so
What?
good.
Wait,
Yes.
Did you use Krispy Kreme donuts?
Yes.
Oh, that is decadence. That is decadence. I love that.
But you want to think of what's available at the store. So right now we're seeing a lot of pears, apples,
This is what's in season.
just what's in season.
And pumpkin's always kind of in season, but I think the key here is you want to buy pumpkin puree.
Yeah, not pumpkin pie filling.
You don't want people to do all the spicing and other whatever's in there for you. Buy the pure pumpkin puree.
Correct. And I still have about 6 cans that I bought last year because I went into a panic.
But it's still good. Right?
Oh, it's still good. I'm going to use them, this year. With pumpkin pie, I like to kind of change it up. I do a pumpkin pie cheesecake. I do a pumpkin cheesecake instead.
Yes.
With a graham cracker crust.
I
Kind
love
of try to
that.
like take what's always what's traditional and kind of
Mix it up.
mix it up a little bit.
Yeah. I saw a pumpkin flan recently,
Yum.
and I've done pumpkin scones. I think I just saw those somewhere else as well. Yeah, like it doesn't have to be the pie. per
Correct.
se, right?
So, pies are really traditional, but I also make my pies because, if you're having people over, you get people who like apple pie or people that like pumpkin pie, people that like pecan pie. So I've started making, I think I told you this, my pies in the cupcake pans.
Yes, like personal. We
So you
talked
have-
about this last year, I think.
Yeah, so you have like personal, so you're not stuck with
Yes.
3/4 of this pie, one slice of that one.
You're making individual muffin tin pies,
Mm-hmm.
and each muffin tin has a little bit of crust and then the filling.
Yep.
And you're making a few apple.
Yeah, you
a
can make like
few-
4 apple or whatever.
Yeah.
When it comes time for dessert after the holidays, people are usually really full.
Yes.
Or they're like, I'll just have a little slice of pie, or I'll just have I'm like, here's an individual one. Or you can take it home with you and eat it later.
Perfect. I want to jump around to something else I know you make into the holiday season, and I'm not going to say it right.
The bûche de Noël.
Thank you. If listeners don't know what this dessert is, it's more cakey, right? It's a cakey
Yes.
thing. And it looks like a log that's fallen in the woods and maybe has some mushrooms growing out of it. But am I wrong? I'm not wrong. I've seen yours.
That's great. So I equate it to the pumpkin log or
Like a pumpkin roll.
like the pumpkin roll.
But this is like chocolate.
So it's a chocolate sponge
Oh,
that you fill with a buttercream and you roll it up.
please keep going.
Some people fill it with like the plain buttercream. Some people color it chocolate. So what you have to do with the log, you cut like the bottom quarter of it off
At an angle, right?
at an angle and you reposition it on the big part. So it looks
Like
like
on the side, like it looks like a little knot.
it looks
coming
like a
out,
knot
little
coming.
branch. That was
Yeah,
cut
it looks
off.
like a branch.
Yes.
So then I would make my chocolate buttercream and put it on, I'm going to call it a log for you.
Yes, thank you. Say the real term.
Bûche de Noël.
Lovely.
Thank you. And then I make meringue mushrooms.
Yes, I have seen these. I've had one of yours. You showed me this, and maybe we were at KDKA and you had one on TV.
And then you make sugared cranberries,
Oh, are you using real cranberry?
real cranberries,
Okay, fresh cranberries.
fresh cranberries.
Okay.
And take fresh rosemary and kind of sugar the rosemary.
Oh,
Just putting it in egg whites.
Yes.
And I take my sugar and I make it into super fine sugar in the food processor.
Okay, so you're taking regular granulated sugar and pulsing it a few times
Yes.
to get it a little more
Real
fine.
finer. So it looks like it's frozen,
Frosted.
frosted.
Yes. And this is your little sprig of holly or evergreen then in the bûche de Noël. I can't see it. I'm not even going to bother.
Yes.
Yeah, it's
So
beautiful.
it makes a really lovely centerpiece.
Can you send me a picture of one of these so we can put it on social this week?
Yes, I will.
Excellent.
So I'm
All right.
excited. I'm doing that as a demo.
I love that. Is there any other, besides pie and the log, is there any other dessert that you find that you're making over the fall winter season?
For clients, I'm just going to say what I make for my family.
Yeah.
Because one thing is not that difficult, but we always have monkey bread
Oh, yes.
for Christmas Day.
We called it bubble bread in my family.
Okay.
And if folks don't know what this is, we always used bread dough.
Oh, I just use the Pillsbury.
I like your version better. Tell me more.
So I buy the Pillsbury Grand biscuits,
And you cut them into
cut them into
pieces.
quarters, put it in a bag of cinnamon sugar, layer that in a bundt pan. Then on the stove, you cook brown sugar, butter, some vanilla, and you pour that over the uncooked biscuits and you bake that.
All right, yours is different than the one I grew up with. So ours was usually store-bought bread dough. We would make it into bite-sized balls, maybe like the size of a golf ball. We would dip it in butter roll it in cinnamon sugar, and then stack them in a bundt pan, and then pour the remaining butter, maybe sprinkle the remaining cinnamon sugar over the top, and again, bake the whole thing.
Doing the traditional sugar cookies, that's another dough that you can think about making in advance.
Okay.
You could always roll out the sheets of your dough and freeze those sheets.
Okay, so freeze them into sheets, not into like the log shape for cutting slice and bake cookies.
You could do that too.
Okay.
So what I would do is make the dough, let it solidify in the refrigerator, roll it out in sheets and freeze those sheets.
Yes, probably
or
easy to
cut your
store.
shapes and freeze those.
Okay.
And pull them out and bake them as you need.
That sounds lovely.
My biggest thing is preparation for baking in the holidays. Have everything you need. Have a plan. Think about what you can do a couple days before to prep for it. Like with my bouche de Noël, I can make those meringue mushrooms
A couple days
a week in advance and keep them in an airtight container. I could make my buttercream because I make an Italian meringue buttercream. I could make that a couple days in advance.
Okay.
The sponge cake, you kind of have to make it and use it
That day, because you got to roll it.
because you have to roll it. And if you unroll it, it could break.
Yeah. We don't
I
want
went
that.
to the dollar store and bought probably about 20 towels for my.
to roll it up.
roll it up
Oh,
in.
yeah. It's a whole thing.
It is.
Oh my. Well, Alekka, I think you've given folks so many great pointers and tips, but I do feel like at the end of the day, people might just want to come to you.
Oh yeah, I'll bake for you.
Well, let's do this. Why don't we remind folks of anything that you do have coming up, like a class or an event where you might be baking, and then we'll definitely give your social handles again.
So for November, I am doing a knife skills class. I know that's kind of deviating from baking, but I think re-up your knife skills for the holidays. And I'm doing my annual I Forgot to Make a Pie class.
I remember this one from last year.
So that one, you bring in a pie pan, or I will provide you with a pie pan. I will have dough already pre-made, but you're going to make dough in class. So after you make your dough, I refrigerate it and you take that home with you. Then you get the dough that I made. I show you how to roll it out. Then you get 3 traditional fillings for your pie. You can do pumpkin. I think I might switch it up this year. I don't know. See what I feel like.
Yeah, pumpkin's going to be in there.
Yeah, pumpkin's definitely going to be in there.
And some other ideas.
And I'll show you how, if you want to do a double crust, if you want to do a lattice crust.
Now we're getting really fancy.
We are.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. And when is this class?
That is going to be, I think it's November. It's like a couple days before Thanksgiving.
So
like the Sunday before Thanksgiving is where it's going to be.
So people could come in and start prepping this pie for.
They could have a practice round with me.
Yeah.
And then go home with the pie dough they made in class.
And
do
that
it
for
again.
Thursday. Yeah. Excellent.
That's a fun one. I only take 8 people per session.
Intensive.
It's intensive. So I'm probably going to be, if the first one sells out, and it always does, then I usually add on a second one for the pie class. The knife skills one, we make something at the end of class.
Fun.
So it's either ratatouille or stir fry.
You have something a little further out too.
I do.
Can we talk about it's December, right?
We could talk about it now.
All right, go for it.
So the All Clad sale on December 5th.
Okay.
Friday. I'm going to be the guest chef demonstrator.
Ooh.
And guess what I'm making?
I have no idea.
Bouche de Noël.
Oh, that's great. I had no idea.
Because I find, like, getting back into the baking vibe, a lot of people that I know that own All Clad.
I own a lot of All Clad because they're local.
They are. But the baking equipment that they have, I don't think is that
Is as well known
as
the cookware.
As the cook.
So you're going to highlight the
that's why I
baking
pitched that to the people. I said, you
yeah.
know, they have these nesting measuring bowls that like has a handle on it that I love. They have sifters. They have sheet pans.
I've seen their sheet pans.
Yeah.
They're very lovely.
The measuring cups, the measurings, they're really heavy, which I like about them. But, oh, he's bringing them out.
Here they are.
You can hear them.
They look like the little sauce pots.
They do. And they're sturdy.
And so when is this again?
December 5th.
All right.
I think that's the first day. And I have to be there so early in the morning.
No, that's not your jam.
It's not my jam. I have to be there at 6 a.m.
Oh my. Well, it is a very busy time at the All Clad outlet sale. What do they call it?
It's the All Clad, or the second sale, I guess.
The All Clad sale.
Yeah, so how it works is you go into a room. Mm-hmm. Like you walk in, you get a number.
And
that's the group number that you're in.
Yeah.
So you're sitting in this room. And so I would call myself the entertainment while
so
you're waiting.
Doing the demo.
I'm doing
those
that
folks.
demo in that room.
Excellent.
Before they call your group in to go shopping.
That's fun. Alekka, thank you so much for sharing so many good tips, recommendations, your experience. You have me hungry. Would you remind everyone of your own social handles and your website if people want to contact you, look for these classes, or just follow you along?
So my website is chefalekka.com. I am Chef Alekka PGH on Instagram.
All right.
And I am on Talk Pittsburgh every other Thursday.
On CBS Pittsburgh.
On CBS Pittsburgh.
Local KDKA.
Local KDKA for those listening overseas.
Famous chef. We do have about 49 different countries that tune into the Pittsburgh
Oh, cool.
Dish. Yeah. I was just looking at stats. So they are listening around the world.
Wow. I'm so proud of you, Doug.
Oh, well, thank you, Alekka. I'm so proud of you.
This is always my Monday morning drive to work, listening to your podcast.
So as we speak, in a couple weeks, you'll be listening to yourself.
I'll be like, no, I don't want to listen to myself.
No, you have to. It's good. Thanks so much, Alekka, for being on the
Thanks for having me
Dish.
for the third time,
Is
Doug.
it the third time?
Yes.
All right. Well, we'll work up to one for the thumb.
One for the thumb. One for the thumb.
Oh. Before we go, I want to thank Chef Alekka one more time, not only for being on the show today, but also for being a monthly monetary supporter of the Pittsburgh Dish for well over a year. If you're interested in supporting the show in the same way, take a look at the links at the bottom of our show descriptions. You can sign up for as little as $3 a month and cancel anytime. And as always, thanks for listening. That's our show for this week. As we enter into the busy holiday season over the next few weeks, we'll be featuring some more condensed episodes, and ultimately, we'll be taking a couple weeks off in December. We'll be back again next week with another fresh episode. Stay tuned.